There's one thing on the channel that I'm always stressing: get your car off the jack stands, get under hood, get the shit fixed, right? Pay to play. We had an unfortunate incident happen to us recently. We were out testing radial on the white car because we figured we could probably make the radials work. The turbo got a little bit hungry. Brand new wheel too. This is important too. Oh shit. But unfortunately for our testing period, we had a brand new belt on here that we had just put on there. The belt flew off and ruined my impeller. But you can see pieces of belt stuck, and it's all wrapped around my crankshaft. I haven't ran a turbo guard in years, and this is my first incident. Fortunately for us, we got an option. We got a couple things we can do to rectify this pretty much in a hurry. Hopefully it didn't hurt the motor. We're gonna get this turbo off, assess the damage, check all the intercooler piping, check the intercooler itself. That hurts my heart. Okay, so what's the game plan? We do have a replacement that we sent off to have touched up and rebuilt and upgraded. That's pretty much the same turbo, but this one's actually a little bit better. You'd be surprised at how many turbos actually need to be rebuilt, but I always like to keep my maintenance up on my car as best I can. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that out of the box, get it unwrapped, and we're gonna pull bolts off the backside of this housing, but we don't need to take any of the housing or piping off. We just need to take the head unit off in the drain. We're gonna check all the intercooler piping and stuff all the way through the intercooler when we take it up. Should be a pretty easy fix. What I'm hoping for, we can get this back on the road and maybe shake it down next weekend, make sure it's ready for pacemakers, our next no prep. So we'll get the belt out from the crank like I told you. We'll check the intercooler piping and we'll bring it down and then we'll pull the turbo.
Have it on sitting over there?
No. Oh yeah. Where else we got it dangling from cousin Paul? I think there's some over here on the side somewhere. Please. Oh. Do that. Then it comes back and hits me in the face. Type of week I've had? I don't think so. Look at that. If there's anything in my piping at all. This is important too. Oh shit. I think I see stuff. You see it? Is that part of the belt though? Oh, there was the fins. Look on the ground. Yeah. Look at that. Oh boy. We actually need to get this intercooler out, running a bunch of water through it, tilting it up, because a lot of that stuff didn't get through the intercooler, but I gotta check all the cores and wash them out to make sure. I mean, we blew a lot of it out, but it needs to be washed. And I wanna go through the MAF sensor that's still in this and the piping going all the way up to the throttle body to make sure it's all clean of debris and such before I put the new turbo on. We got a whole bunch that came out of that. We probably shouldn't have ran it afterward. But like I said, we're gonna go through and get it cleaned out. Wow, looks good, looks clean, looks happy. No issues there. You know, now we got to send it back to Precision as we have a a replacement for the turbo. This is actually the original one that came off the white car. So this is the one that got rebuilt. It has a CEA wheel, so it's going to be a little bit more power hungry, you can say. But luckily, we just good timing. We had this, got this back just in time when that happened, and we're able to continue racing. But I had a couple friends of mine had a couple turbos, said that they would lend me, but I'm just not happy with it, bro. Okay, we're going to be doing some transition here. We got to put the feed. We're going to switch the feed over, and the drain just stayed in the car. We're just going to figure out the drain. But I got to clock the turbos exactly the way this one is, or pretty much eye it in best we can. They go a specific way. That way when we go to install it, it's quick, it's easy. We're done with it. So we're going to go ahead and lock it down. You can see this new Gen 2 wheel, ball bearing unit, ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and crack this thing open and see what the carnage looks like. All right, let's take a peek at the turbo. Oof. Look at all the turbo stuff in there. Yep. Brand new wheel too. All right, we got it all pretty much set up. Feed, put our little turbo blanket on. I think we're done up top here. Clean the pipes out pretty good. We're gonna put the leaf blower through the intercooler. I got another belt that's coming in tomorrow, like HD belt. It's gonna be a little bit better. And we're gonna be changing the setup on the bracket. So getting this car ready. We wanna make a hit tonight, go back to the track, see, make sure it's good, because we got a race this weekend. But in all fairness, I kind of figured this alternator bracket was starting to creep on me right here in this slot, and I probably should have done something with it. And I think what had happened was this alternator moved just enough on that bolt under tension to throw this belt, and when it threw it, obviously, I got super unlucky and went into the turbo. So that's what I think happened. Pretty sure that's what I'm gonna go with, because I've seen the actual belt come off on one rib and that be loose. Motor was under load, under torque. Flip the belt off, it was brand new. We're gonna get this tension off, we're gonna get this bracket off, put this other belt back on, which is the old belt, get everything hooked back up and make sure that my motor running, so. All right, so yesterday, me, Cousin Fred, and Paul went through our intercooler. Intercoolers are like big air cleaners. What Cousin Fred did was put a old leaf blower that we had, and we kind of shot it through the intercooler from outlet to inlet to get anything out. And there was a whole bunch of shit that came out. You know, this is just a little bit. After we blew it out, we washed it out with the 85, which is like alcohol. I mean, you can just see all the extra stuff that came out that got stuck in the intercooler. You know, this thing, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you run intercoolers on your car, it's probably not a bad idea to clean these every so often. This is the first time I've actually cleaned this one, and it was filthy. Not just from the debris that was inside of it, but just simply from driving around. I mean, there was just crap all in here, so. All right, we're gonna come in here and I'm gonna see how loose this actually is. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I didn't unloosen it yet. Just now started. Gotta check my brackets, man. Unforeseen type of shit we gotta deal with. Guaranteed that's what happened. Okay, so if you look at these two brackets we got right here, we actually have a March accessory drive. I don't like this slot. You can see how it moves. And again, if you look at this medium length one, it does the same thing. It's kind of galling out. You can see how it would come loose because it's not really seated in there. You know, you need to fix that, March, because that came loose and made this probably walk, and ended up making the alternator bracket move. So what's the fix? We just took I don't want the alternator bracket to move at all. So maybe this might help somebody. Kind of just ground off some lock washer, whatever. So this will just sit down in here, and then you'll see it won't really move much. And plus this will have a couple of washers on it and just tighten from outside, since it's not going to be in the middle of the belt. This should be a lot more secure than what it was. And it's ran like that for years and it never had a problem. So being corrected, probably won't have another problem. Oh, it's mad. It's definitely mad. In a good way. So we put the old belt back on. Probably never should have took it off to begin with, but ran really good. Got it up to temperature. Antifreeze all good. Belt's not super tight this time, but it's got enough on there to drag the water pump. This bolt down here now has got washers, and this one was already tight, and this one was slotted and moving, but now it's not going to move, and it's nice and tight. So I think we're back at it. We might have got lucky. A couple things with the idle was up there pretty high. The IAC was acting a little difficult, so we fixed that up a little bit. Anyway, no reason why this should pop back off. But we got a new belt coming right now. We just wanted to make sure that the engine was okay, so we took it for a hit. Everything's good. So we back at it, bros. We back at it. We got an HD belt coming. Should be here in the mail as soon as as soon as Amazon wants to go ahead and deliver it, and then we should be good to go. Stay tuned, guys. If you enjoy this sort of content, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, let me know what you think. Consider subscribing. Junk running junk. That's pretty much what this is. See you soon in the next video.